When we look at these boats, we see the American dream, right? But honestly, that dream is often being manufactured in a Chinese shipyard. Most patriotic, flag-waving brands in this industry are, well, they aren't telling you the whole story. They sell us Florida heritage and European design, but the reality? Many of these hulls are being welded together in the same industrial zones as your iPhone. And for years, nobody cared. But that changed overnight. In October 2025, the US government quietly activated a new trade law targeting Chinese-built vessels, and whether you were looking to buy or just, watching from the dock, you need to see this. Because the invasion isn't coming, it's already docked at your local marina. Chapter 1: The Aquila Connection. All right, let's start with the brand that arguably won the last decade, Aquila. If you walk into a MarineMax dealership, the sales pitch is, well, it's flawless. They position it as the ultimate Florida-style cruiser. And technically, the brand was born from a partnership with MarineMax, the American giant. But the birthplace of every single Aquila hull is thousands of miles away. Aquila is the result of a partnership with Sino-Eagle Group. They didn't just build a few boats, they built a dedicated million-square-foot facility in Hangzhou, China, specifically to pump out these catamarans. Now, let me be clear. Aquila builds a solid boat. They have dominated the market because they successfully combined Chinese labor costs with American design standards. About 60% of the materials, like engines and electronics, are sourced from the US or Europe. But the marketing often glosses over the made in China part. Why? Well, because dealers know it still carries a stigma. They prefer to talk about the global team rather than the Hangzhou factory floor. Here's what they won't tell you at the boat show. When you walk the deck of that gleaming Aquila 54, admiring the fit and finish, you're looking at the output of workers making a fraction of what American boat builders earn. That's not a judgment, it's economics. And for years, it worked beautifully for everyone involved. MarineMax gets a product they can sell at competitive prices. Buyers get a catamaran that would cost double if built in Florida. And Sino-Eagle? They get a steady pipeline of orders that keeps their massive facility humming. But here is where the 2026 reality hits. Aquila isn't just assembled in China, it is deeply integrated into that ecosystem. The fiberglass, the aluminum extrusions, the labor force, it's all part of a supply chain that Washington is now viewing as a national security concern. And in a political climate where the government is aggressively targeting Chinese maritime dominance, that connection is becoming a valid risk factor. Not today, maybe, but 3 years from now when you're trying to sell, that's when the bill comes due. Chapter 2: The Nordhavn Nuance. If Aquila is the mass market example, Nordhavn is the cult classic. These are the go-anywhere boats, the expedition yachts that circumnavigate the globe. The boats with fuel capacity measured in thousands of gallons, and owners who measure success in latitude crossed, not marina brunches. With a name like Nordhavn, which means North Harbor, you would be forgiven for thinking they are built by, bearded Vikings in a Scandinavian fjord. They aren't. Nordhavn is arguably the most successful example of East meets West manufacturing. The company, PAE, is based in California, but the boats, they have always been built in Asia. And here's the thing, Nordhavn owners know this. They've always known. This isn't some hidden scandal. The brand built its reputation on being upfront about using Asian yards to deliver ocean-crossing capability at a price point that wouldn't require you to be a billionaire. But here's the detail most people miss. Nordhavn uses 2 primary partner yards. The first is Taixing in Taiwan. The second is South Coast Marine, which is in Xiamen, China. This distinction is crucial in 2026. The boats built in Taiwan are currently safe from the new mainland tariffs, but the boats built in Xiamen, they are technically Chinese-built in the eyes of the US trade representative. So, if you're in the market for a Nordhavn, you need to ask, which yard is this hull coming from? Because if we see a blanket sanction on Chinese-built vessels expand, a hull from the mainland might carry baggage that a hull from Taiwan doesn't. It's a nuance that didn't matter 5 years ago, but today, it could determine your resale value. And we're talking about boats that cost anywhere from $1.5 million to $5 million or more. That's not a rounding error. That's your kid's college fund. That's your retirement. The brokers won't tell you this yet, because honestly, they're still figuring it out themselves. But I'm telling you now, if you're signing a contract for a Nordhavn hull that won't be delivered until 2027, you better know which country is stamping that hull identification number. Chapter 3. The Law. Section 301. Now let's talk about the money, specifically the new fees that are terrifying the industry. On October 14, 2025, the Office of the U.S. Trade Representative flipped a switch on a new set of fees under Section 301. Here's the text. As of late 2025, Chinese-built vessels entering U.S. ports are subject to a new fee structure. There's a specific fee of $18 per net ton for any vessel built in China, regardless of who owns it. Now, I want to be precise here. Right now, this law is targeted primarily for commercial shipping and logistics. The government wants to punish Chinese shipping lines, container ships, bulk carriers, the massive vessels that move goods across the Pacific. But the language is broad. It targets Chinese-built vessels, and that creates a massive gray area. If you buy a 100-ton yacht built in China, does that fee extend to you when you dock in a U.S. port? Nobody knows yet. The Treasury Department hasn't issued clear guidance. Customs hasn't updated their enforcement protocols. It's a legal minefield. Even if it doesn't apply to private yachts yet, the uncertainty alone is poison for resale value. Let me give you a real example. Last month, a broker in Fort Lauderdale listed a 2023 Aquila 70, pristine condition, low hours, asking for $2.8 million. 3 years ago, that boat would have had offers within weeks. Today, crickets, because every potential buyer is doing the same math. What if this fee structure expands? What if port access gets restricted? What if the next administration decides to get even tougher on China? We already see a China discount on the brokerage market, where these boats depreciate faster than US builds. A comparable Hatteras or Viking built in North Carolina holds its value like a Rolex, but a Chinese equivalent, it drops like a rock. But imagine trying to sell your Chinese-built superyacht in 2028 if that port fee expands. Buyers hate risk, and right now, a Chinese hull identification number is a risky asset. It's like buying beachfront property in a flood zone. Sure, it might be fine, but do you really want to bet your retirement on might? Chapter 4. The Invasion. Heysea. While Aquila and Nordhavn are American companies using Chinese labor, there is a new wave of brands that are 100% Chinese, and they are coming for the superyacht market. Meet Heysea Yachts. You might not know the name, but they are consistently ranked in the top 30 global superyacht builders. They aren't building small center consoles. They are building 140-foot aluminum mega yachts. And the price difference? Honestly, it is staggering. A comparable European yacht might cost you $12 million. A Chinese build could be $7 or $8 million. For a long time, the catch was quality, but that is changing. Today, they are using Italian leather and German engines. The gap is closing. But this direct-from-China model is exactly what the US government is trying to kill. They see builders like Heysea not as competitors, but as part of China's strategy for maritime dominance. Chapter 5. The Hidden List. So who else is on the list? It's not just Aquila. Did you know that many outer reef yachts are built in the Tanya Yacht Company Shipyard in Kaohsiung, Taiwan? Or that the popular Fleming yachts are also built in Taiwan at the Tunghua Yard? Now, Taiwan is a safer bet than mainland China politically, but, well, it is still in the danger zone of the Pacific conflict. Then you have Hampton Yachts, built in Shanghai, and Marlow Yachts, which are built at the Norseman Yard near Xiamen, China. These are premium, respected brands, but they all share the same vulnerability. If the definition of Chinese-built in the U.S. trade laws expands, the supply chain for parts and warranty support could freeze overnight. The verdict? So, what is the verdict? Should you avoid these brands? If you were buying an Aquila, you were likely safe for now. The brand is so massive and the US demand is so high that the market has accepted the origin. you are buying a Chevy, not a Ferrari. If you are buying a Nordhavn, just know what you are buying. Check the yard. A Taiwan hull might be the smarter play right now. But if you were looking at a deal of a lifetime on a massive new yacht from a lesser-known Chinese shipyard, don't do it. The initial savings are not worth the risk of owning an asset that the US government is actively trying to devalue. The China discount you get when you buy new, you are going to pay it back with interest when you sell. But, this isn't the first time the government has turned a superyacht into a financial disaster. If you want to see how US taxpayers, meaning you, lost $32 million just to keep a seized Russian mega yacht clean, you need to click this video right here. It exposes the Amadeus scandal, and honestly, it makes these China tariffs look like pocket change. So click right here to see where your tax money actually went. I'm Harsh Vardhan and, well, that's the truth about your boat. Thanks for watching.